What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. So today, I think this one flew under the radar for me and maybe a few other people. So this is TiGa Land, or TiGa 243 Land, whichever way you want to name it. And this is Tim Geiser's new track, so it's a replica of that. Now, I want to give both parties credit because I'm unsure exactly on who made it, but it was posted by Concept Graph, but it says original author Gabriel the Best. So whether it was Gabriel or whether it was Concept Graph, obviously shout out to either of you or both of you, whoever put the work in. But we're going to see what it's like. There's a lot of positive comments. I saw that it was actually 5-star rated at the moment on MXP Mods, which is quite a rare occurrence. Usually you get some troll sharp and just rate something 1 star for the sake of it. So we're going to see how it goes. Now, for the first time ever, I've actually looked at a YouTube video of a track before riding it, like a track that I didn't know existed, and I won't lie, I don't follow MXGP much at all, or the MXGP riders, so I didn't even know that this was a thing. But I had a look at the track is in Slovenia, and it looks right up my alley, to be fair. You know, quite jumpy, no massive ruts up the jump faces or anything, quite hard pack, a little bit dusty, and just what I like. So I feel like I've seen a couple of Slovenian tracks so far, and they all look really good fun. So maybe I need to relocate, try something new, have some good fun. And I'm sure they've got more tracks local to them than I have to me. Bloody like 2-hour drive nowadays just to go to go somewhere reasonable. But I digress. So in this video, I'm going to do a few laps of this track, and I'm going to see kind of how it scales on a replica side of things. Now, it was mentioned in the post that the environment that you see around me is custom, and I can confirm that. So based off the video, I said it's very dusty, very brown. There's not much in terms of environment at all. So I suppose from a creative perspective, I think that was a good decision, and probably something that if I was to make it myself, I probably would have varied some things up as well. And let's spin a few laps and see what I think. I'm not sure if you can hear it in the background, because I know I tend to have the game volume a little bit quieter than my voice, just so you can make out exactly what I see and it's not overbearing. But there's a lot of like bird sounds in the background, which is quite cool and interesting. I imagine playing this track for maybe like an hour or so, if you was really grinding away, then birds might get annoying after a while. But it does add to that whole custom environment feel. You know, it's a lot more green, a lot more trees dotted about than there are in the GoPro video that I watched from Tim himself. And I can kind of see. So I think Tim is quite a. Oh, what's the way of wording it? I really like how he rides the bike. It's a very European way, just in terms of using the bottom end of the bike, carrying momentum a lot. I see a lot of GoPros, especially on the American scene, you know, a lot of the young guys coming through, and they just absolutely bang it off the limiter everywhere, and I feel so sorry for the bikes sometimes. But Tim, I really like it. He's always kind of like lugging the bike around. I think a similar thing with Roxon as well. When I watch Roxon's Supercross GoPros, he's always right at the bottom of it. Something that Ryan Villapoto is very good. Obviously not being European, but still that same riding style that I really enjoy. And it just looks nice and precise, nice and smooth. And if I could ride like that, I would absolutely love to. Throw Sexton's body position in there, and we're good to go. But I can see why Tim rides like that. Just looking at the tracks that he rides on. If you just type in literally TiGa Land on YouTube, you'll find a GoPro video of it somewhere. And if you used to ride this track IRL, like on the limiter, really being super aggressive, it just wouldn't work for you. Your back end would step out, you'd probably tuck the front in a few corners. It's quite cool seeing how people develop different skills, and we all are products of our environment, and I just think it's really, really cool. I mean, I myself, obviously, I grew up riding hard pack tracks, and that's what I really enjoy. Other people enjoy sand, for example. Like, you get most of the Dutch riders tend to be really good sand riders, just because that's what they grew up riding, and it's just a very interesting concept to me. Now, I think we can all agree that riding in the torrential rain or the wet is always the great equalizer, and there's no people that like usually truly stand out in those conditions. And I know when I was growing up, like, I would be like very slightly above mid-pack. So say out of a race of 40 people, I'd be like 10th to 15th-ish on a regular basis. And the people I would quite often battle with in just like a normal race, there was a few people that when heavens opened and when the rain came down, they would be on another level for some reason. There was one guy that used to beat me by like a handful of positions, but never like stupidly fast. And as soon as it'd rain, he'd win most of the time. It's just really, really weird how people thrive in different conditions. But I digress. I feel like this would be a really fun track to ride IRL. I'm not sure if it's open to the public at all or if it's Tim's own private track. But I've seen his GoPro. I saw another GoPro from like a random guy and a husky. I don't know if that's just like an invitation type thing or you can just turn up. But either way, it's really cool. Didn't know it existed. And the only other like track that I've seen Tim riding in terms of privately outside of the MXGP videos that get released is, I can't remember the name of it, but I think it's like Action something called Dirt Bike Park, something along those lines. And this is an old video. I'm talking like 5+ years ago, and oh my god, he was on rails. It was so good to see, and he's probably one of my favourite MXGP riders. If I do ever watch it, I have to say, just because of how he rides, I really do enjoy it. And so this track is, I mean, it's quite easy on the eyes. There's nothing too bad at all. The decal that's used for the grass is a little bit in my opinion. It's a little bit grainy on the eyes when you're riding past it really quickly. But I like the corners. The ruts are good. They're not absolutely massive walls that you can get cranked over at like 90 degrees and just hit pinned. And then at the same time, they're not too shallow where you can't hook up in them quite well. The only, like, sort of bearing in mind I'm literally on lap 3 right now, the only like one negative that I can see straight out of the box is the jumps do seem to send you to the moon. I'm not sure if that was an intentional decision to make it a bit more fun for the MX bike side of things, but right there I wasn't hitting that jump fast at all, and I OJ'd it by a mile. I am on a Honda 450, but so is Tim, so got to bear that in mind. Maybe I don't know, maybe rounding off or mellowing the jumps a little bit more so you jump the correct distance and not so high up to the moon might have been a better choice. There's definitely some jumps on here that compared to the GoPro video they have been overscaled a bit, but I suppose if you're going down the route of you can do custom environment because you want it to work better in game, you can always just change things up a little bit. However, the description of the track does say that the track is a replica except for the environment. So I'm going to have to try and base it off of that and say that that's really the only thing on surface level that I could think of to improve. I'd be interested, I think, to see how this would race. I feel like it can be quite tight and twisty in some of these corners, so I'm not sure how well it would do in that regards. I'm not sure if these ruts kind of all end up coming out about the same speed, but it could be interesting. Definitely not something that I would want to race on a 450, but get me on one of the smaller bikes, 125s for example, I don't think you're going to have any trouble hearing the bigger jumps on the 2-strokes. Get up and over here. Like this one here, I feel like this just sends you way further than you need to. And I don't think like I'm going balls to the wall at all, you know. I think I'm being quite reserved. Don't overshoot that. Glider on here, tuck it on in, and then this one as well was like bang, sends you right up into the moon. There's one more right in the middle of the track that's a little bit overkill, but you know what? Oh, it should be good fun. I saw a lot of people like giving this some really good love. People saying that this could be the best free track in the game, and oh, I don't know if I'd go to that extent, but it certainly is a good bit of fun. Right, I need to go outside this corner because this next step down is the one that I keep casing. Here we go, let's go up. Oh my lord, just feel like you're above the world when you jump off of some of these. It's insane. And I did want to see if there was any Tim Gaiser replica stuff to download and ride with for this, but I couldn't find any. Maybe I just wasn't looking hard enough, because I feel like there's been a hell of a lot of replicas. You know, you got Hurling stuff, you got Deegan, and I'd be surprised if Tim Geiser stuff wasn't out there. But I met it halfway. I hopped on a Honda. That's close enough, I think, in my opinion. But oh God, I can't. You know what? One thing that I'm actually struggling with is remembering what jump I'm hitting and knowing how fast to hit it. Because a lot of them are blind. You know, you don't know where the landing is until you're already up in the air. So that's something that could just come with a little bit of practice. Oh, birds are still chirping away in the background. And I can't... Oh, actually, let's hit this on the left side. That's much better hitting it on the left. You get such a better drive for up the hill. Easy, easy, easy. I can scrub this quite hard, I believe. Then there's a weird, like... Oh god, yeah, there's this weird jump here that I can't work out what I need to do. I'm not sure if I'm meant to double in or if I'm meant to try scrubbing the first bit and then doubling out. I'm not too sure. I need to go watch Tim's lines a little bit more. But I think overall, it's a pretty solid track. Now, I have not heard of Gabriel before. I don't think it's the same Gabriel that done the 85cc mods. And it says back again with another track, so obviously leads me to believe that it's not the first release. But from someone that I've not heard of before, if it is Gabriel and it's not concept graph, really good stuff. If it is concept graph, it doesn't feel like a regular concept graph track. His ones, they're very distinct. I've done a few of them before, and I don't even know how to explain it, but you know the feeling you get when you know you're on a certain person's type track. And yeah, it's just very, very foreign, and I feel bad for not knowing 100% who released it, but it's not clear from the description. And I suppose when it's been, like, I think translated, the description from whatever language it was originally written in over to English. Maybe Google Translate was used, maybe there's a built-in feature in MXB mods, I have no idea. But you can tell it is slightly broken, so there's a slight language barrier there. But regardless, we have been getting so many tracks recently, which is why I feel kind of bad for slacking on the video front, because I could have been doing so many more videos than I have been. And I was just scrolling through the mods page, and we've got like 3 tracks released on the 1st, another 2 released on the 31st, then maybe like another 5 in the entire week before that. And people really are pumping things out. And I think I need to kind of take advantage of it while I can, because we do every now and then get those little track droughts where we won't get anything for a week plus. I think everyone, it's like when women spend too much time together and they sync up on their monthlies. I think it's like all the track creators work on something and then release it all around the same time, and then they're all working on something again, so we don't get anything. But it's been pretty on the MX bike scene right now. Things are going pretty well, I think, which is surprising, because I know a lot of people aren't too happy in terms of game development right now. Piboso is, I mean, stuff is being worked on. I just feel like there probably should be maybe like a B17F rather than a full beta rating, just to release some of the things that are currently working. I feel like that would keep people happy in the meantime. Like, loading times have been greatly improved, game crashes have been greatly reduced, and just those good quality of life things I think people would appreciate. I feel like it should just be released, but you know, I think Piboso wants the next update to be beta 18. I think there's still a few things that are being worked on, and I mean, I welcome it when it eventually comes. I'm sure I will do a video going through all of the different changes and what to expect. But I think that'll do it from me in this video. Really, really good track, so well done to both Concept Graph and Gabriel, and I hope to see more, as always. I think you probably did make the right choice in terms of mixing up the environment, and as I said, I think the only things that really need looking at is the jump. I think it's just the jump faces that are a bit steeper than they should be, so it just absolutely boots you off to the moon. But other than that, really good stuff. Corners are good, the environment's nice and welcoming, and it gives off a bit of a, it gives off more of a local style track feel, I think, because of the environment, than a private track feel that I think it actually is. But it's always nice getting replicas in game. I certainly appreciate it. And yeah, do it from me. Hope you had a That's not my usual outro. I was about to say, I hope you've had a lovely day. But that's not how it goes at all. Let's rewind it. If you've enjoyed the video, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you do. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. There we go, whatever it is that you're up to. And until I catch you in the next video, peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want.